I can tell you that Sensei was never what I expected ever since I attended tournaments as a white belt. I remember seeing him on the side, and I thought he was a grandparent or parent watching one of their kids or friends in the ring. I didn't believe my instructor when he said that that was Sensei. And he was always like that. He was always welcoming. And I remember coming up to tournaments, and if there's one of us or 10 of us, the American anthem always played. So it always made you feel welcome. And coming up through the ranks, I remember testing for my black belt. And before testing, having a meeting with Sensei. Again, nothing that I expected. I expected to be talking to him about katas and about fighting and about different techniques. And when I walk in and say hi to him, he laughs, says hi, says it's good to see me. And he asked me, hey, there's differences between the laws in the U.S. and Canada about self-defense. And what do you think about that? And, we talked a little bit about that. And he said, well, what do you think about the idea of self-defense? And, I gave him my young, unpolished opinion about it. And he laughed, and he listened to me. But what he did basically is said, well, what happens after? What happens after all these things happen? And, we're left to deal with the consequences. And I remember saying, well, wow, I guess I never thought about that. And he didn't get mad. He just laughed. And he says, well, I guess you have now. That's why we're talking about it. So, and I remember the day of my grading, really super hot day. And Sensei, was looking over the whole class. 2 hours into it, we're at intermission. It's very hot. The floor is this linoleum floor. I'm throwing every technique as hard as I possibly can because I'm so young. I go and hide at intermission because I didn't want the judges to see me almost passing out in this little cubby area. And I'm hydrating. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, Sensei comes up. And I'm thinking, oh my God, Sensei's here. I better straighten up. And I'm barely breathing. And at the time, he smoked quite a bit. And I remember being in this small area and two distinct things. One, I could barely breathe because he was smoking. And two, he said, karate is for everyone. It's not a Canadian thing. It's not an American thing. Just like it's not an East Coast Canada and a West Coast Canada thing. Karate doesn't know any borders. Shintani karate is for everyone. And I didn't catch on then. I was a little bit too fatigued, but I did catch on eventually. And I remember, again, Sensei not being anything that I expected. My instructor out of nowhere says, come on, we're going to go up and train with Sensei. So immediately I'm excited. I'm all in. I'm ready for this. I'm thinking these were going to be some Zen moments. He's going to teach, show me his secrets to fighting and kata and his power and his speed. And we get up there and we meet him and we go in this little stairwell, okay? And out of nowhere, he goes and grabs 2 brooms and cuts the broom handles off and hands us these sticks. And he says, I've been working on this for a while. It's Shindo, and I want to train you guys in it. I'm immediately bummed. I try not to show it. I know he probably saw it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I wanted to learn all this cool stuff. And he's showing me these sticks. Then he says, I haven't taught it to anyone. It might change. We might change some things. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we're the experiment. So, to be honest, he never changed a thing. It was always the same. And it took a while. After a couple of years, I had this epiphany and realized that this is his movement. This is how he does his timings. And it was one of those sweaty workouts. I'm drenched, I'm dead and dying. And he comes up to me with a certificate for Nidan in Shindo. And I was totally shocked. And again, nothing that I expected. So I trained this stick, the Shindo, even more. And it was 6 years later, came up and he hands me a Yodan certificate. I didn't know what to do. But he said this, The Shindo is an American thing. It's not a Canadian thing. It's for everyone. It's who I am. And just like I always say, and he always proved, a master can speak volumes of information, of knowledge, with just a few words. And that is the one thing I'll never forget, along with Sensei's ability to just smile and bring that out in other people. And that's one of the things that I really try to do in a much different way than Sensei does, and we all do have our own style. But that's one of the things that I really do try, and I'm grateful for an organization that we can do. So that's, my memories of Sensei and the things that he inspires me, those memories inspire me to do. And I hope the same for you.